Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Nitsa and thank you so much for joining me today while I showcase all of your amazing makes for our hashtag Birthstones CAL 2025. Now we have 27 entries today and some of those have more than just one make to share with us, which is so amazing. I of course will share my make with you as well, and at the end we're going to actually choose our winner for our stitch markers. Now let's just backtrack a little bit because we only have 1 month to go, guys. So for the last 11 months plus 1 to go for the whole year, we've been participating in our fun Birthstones CAL 2025, showcasing each and every birthstone for the month. Now we've gone traditional, we've gone modern, we've had a mix of all the different stones, but usually I give you one that we work with and that color theme, but we're very flexible here at Coco's Crochet. We're very inclusive of everyone's idea of what the best birthstone is for each month, because as I said, there are various lists that we can pull from. Now, all you needed to do and can do for the last month, which will be December, all you have to do is take inspiration for the color for the birthstone and just create something fabulous. Email it to me and then I come across and showcase all your beautiful makes. Now you do have the opportunity to win a set of stitch markers like this one here, made by our beautiful friend Rose at Rose Likes Crochet. If you're not already hanging out with her, I will be so super surprised, but go ahead, say hello. She does have an Etsy store where she sells a lot of her stitch markers and other things. Go and favor the shop, favor some of the items, but let me show you what the stitch marker set is going to look like for the month of November. Now, each and every month you get a little cocoa dog, a skein of yarn, a pull, and then the birthstone. So last month we went with citrine here, which is different shades of yellow. Now, the fun part is that I purchased all these sets from Rose, but she's kept them with her and she posts them out to you. So I think that it has been a fun collaboration with one of our lovely yarny friends. Now, let's just pop these down for safekeeping. In here, you'll see, over here, you'll see we have a little bingo barrel, and inside, in this occasion, there are 23 balls. Although we have 27 entries, 4 of those entries are from friends of ours that have already won a set of stitch markers. So as a group here, we put it out there and we all agreed that if you've already won, you're more than welcome to share your makes with us each and every month, but you won't be going into the bingo barrel because it gives more of our yarny friends an opportunity to win one of these stitch marker sets. So let me show you what I've made for the month of November, and then I'll showcase all of your makes. We'll talk about our December birthstone, and then we'll draw the lucky winner for the stitch markers for November. Now, I have been making sunburst granny squares for each and every month, and I use blanket yarn and a 9mm hook. And I'm also adding an extra 4 squares on the corners, and I'm going to have a beautiful, huge blanket for the end of this CAL as a reminder, memory keeper of all the fun times we've had this year. Now, I will show you the yarn that I've been using for the corners. And I love this blanket. It is so heavy at the moment, and I'm so happy that we're nearing the end because here in Sydney, Australia, we're well and truly into summer. Now, this is the corner square here. So I had to make one for this month. I just love these colors. They are dual tone to me, so they just reminded me of the birthstones. And I have been using this gorgeous yarn that I found in Millends, but I only have this much left. So I've got a feeling that I'm going to be playing yarn chicken, but I do have another bag which has got a slight variation to these colors. So I'm going to have to make it work or just make a complete square with the different colors. So stay tuned for that in December. Now for my citrine or yellow square, and here it is here. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Look how big it is. It's huge. So you can imagine how heavy my blanket is. Now, just by sheer luck, I found the yarn that I used in Spotlight on sale, yes, verylastminute.com, last weekend, on Saturday, in fact. And it's this Blanky Sorbet yarn, and it's one of these ombre yarns. So it starts off very dark and then goes all the way to a very light shade of the color. Now, this is obviously blue, but I've used the yellow one pretty much all the dark inside, and then the rest I've been using to make other things with it, which I will be showing you in the future. So 9mm hook, as I said, there are 8 rounds, and I just join as I go, and I have been absolutely loving this project. And like I said, I cannot wait to make my last birthstone square and the corner square, and then we'll be done, guys. And I know a lot of you are also making blankets, and some of you have actually finished them, but I won't be showing them until next month. I thought that was amazing because some are going to donations. So I cannot wait to see everybody's blankets put together. And of course, along the way, there have been so many other amazing makes. We have a snake that's nearly fully grown, an aviary that's nearly full of birds, and so many other wonderful makes along the way. A lot of these projects are going to donation, which I think is wonderful, but I myself am going to keep my blanket because I absolutely love it. And as I said, it's a memory keeper for me of our crochet along. So before we showcase everyone's makes, happy birthday to everyone that celebrated in November. I know there are quite a few of you. A lot of you had family members as well, which I think is wonderful. We had one birthday in November, my daughter-in-law's, and one birth in November, a new baby boy nephew, which is actually my daughter-in-law's sister's baby, and he came the day before her birthday. I'm trying to think, did we have any other November birthdays? Not that I can think of, but they're the ones that we celebrated in November. So like I said, anyone and everyone that celebrated, happy birthday, hip hip hooray. I hope you have an amazing year ahead. Okay, glasses on, guys. You grab a make that doesn't need a lot of attention, as I say, each and every month, because you don't want to miss out on all the oohing and the ahhing. And of course, if you have a drink, that always comes in handy. I, as usual, have a little frog in my throat, so if I need to take a sip, I have a coffee here waiting for me. So let's get started. Excuse me. Okay, so our friend Bella from Bella's Crochet Gifts has crocheted 2 squares for November, one representing the fire opal, so beautiful, and one representing the citrine, equally beautiful. Now both squares that Bella made, she's joining all of them to make a blanket for donation. Now Bella is one of the ones that has finished her blanket, but I'll show you that one next month with her December square. So Bella, thank you so much for joining us. Your ball is white B3. So let's pop this down here for now for safekeeping. Now next we have our friend Natasha from Hooks and Stitches. Natasha is crocheting, well, her blanket is growing, C2C squares and joining them to make a blanket. This very pretty square is made with new fashion yarn in the color tangerine and a 4mm hook. Natasha is another one of our yarny friends that has completed her blanket, but I will show that to you next month with her December square. So Natasha, your ball is green 064, and thank you so much for joining us. Now next we have our friend Sharon K. Now November was Sharon's birthday month, and she has always had yellow topaz jewelry, she tells us, for her birthday. So hip hip hooray to you, Sharon. Now Sharon used Spot Saver yarn in gold and yellow for the heart and Spot Saver in cream for the background of the square. And of course, Sharon used her adorable 5mm unicorn hook to crochet it up with. Absolutely gorgeous. Sharon, your ball is yellow N33. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Now next we have our friend Diane S. Now this super cute square is one of many animal squares by Repeat Crafter Me. Diane will join them all together to make a gorgeous blanket. Diane used Bernat Value yarn in the color topaz, which was perfect for this month, and of course her 5mm hook. Now Diane, your ball is white B8. And of course, thank you so much for joining us. Now next we have our friend Missa Pippin. Now Missa continues to wow us with her 3 projects, all made with DK stash yarn. Now the baby doll and sleeping bag pattern is a purchase pattern from Etsy by Horolada Design. Maybe by next month I'll get it right. Missa used a 4mm hook, and I think it is super adorable. Now this willow square is a YouTube tutorial by Crochet with Yarn Child. Missa used a 4mm hook, and I think it's such a beautiful square. I have used that square, I believe, to make a bag with. Now, I absolutely love watching this snake grow. Missa used a purchase pattern from Etsy by the Crochet Code and a 4.5mm hook. Now, Missa, your ball is yellow N32. And thank you so much for joining us. Now, next we have our friend Kimberly. Here is Kim's Citrine Sunburst Granny Square. Kim used lime brown Woolese yarn in the color gold and a 5mm hook. Kim is seaming her squares together with a dark grey yarn and has added 4 more squares in light and dark grey in each corner. I cannot wait to see your finished blanket. Kimberly, your ball is red I-19, and thank you so much for sharing with us. Now we have Valerie H. Now get ready for cuteness overload. This Winnie the Pooh baby ensemble was gifted to Valerie's friend for her baby shower, and I'm sure she absolutely loves it. Now, Valerie, your ball is yellow N36, and thank you so much for joining us. Next, we have our friend Alley Cat. Alley Cat has crocheted a very pretty towel topper and matching dishcloth. The perfect addition to any kitchen, and I think this is one of many sets that Alley Cat has made for each and every month. Now, Alley Cat, your ball is green O66, and thank you so much for joining us. Now, next we have our friend Rosanna P, and she shares 2 super adorable makes with us. This giraffe is a pattern by Crochet Grove. Roseanne used Bella Baby Nippers yarn and a 5mm hook. Now, I know how absolutely soft that yarn is, and let me tell you, I do know of Rosanna's work because she has donated for our charity drive, and I will be sharing that with you in the very near future. Now, this little duck is a pattern by Nicole Chase. Rosanna used Bella Baby Nippers yarn and a 5mm hook. Now, Rosanna, your ball is red I-21, and thank you so much for sharing with us. Now, next we have our friend Shirley. Now, this is Shirley's November Square. Shirley used Premier Basics yarn in the color Goldenrod. Shirley is crocheting 2 snowflake squares for each month, and Shirley is joining them together to make a beautiful blanket. Now, Shirley is another yarny friend that has completed her blanket. I will show that to you next month, and her December squares as well. So, Shirley, your ball is yellow N31, and thank you so much for sharing with us. Now, next we have our friend Sally from Nanny Moon's Crochet, and Sally is our October winner, therefore she will not be getting a ball today, but thank you so much for sharing. So Sally crocheted 2 beautiful beanies, the Divine Hat and the Basic Ridge Beanie by the Turtle Trunk. Sally used Stylecraft Special Aran in saffron and a 5mm hook for both beanies. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much, Sally, for sharing with us. Now, next we have our friend Vicky D. Oh, sorry, I got confused for a minute. Too many sticky notes. Okay, back to Vicky D. Now, here is Vicky's double crochet hat made with Hirschner's worsted specs yarn in the color Honey, held together with Karen Latte cake in the color Plum Fresh and a 6mm hook. Very, very pretty. I love that effect. Vicky is donating these hats to a man at her church who hands the hats out to the homeless. I think that's so precious. Now, Vicky, your ball is blue G49. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Now, next we have our friend Josephine, and she shares a few makes for citrine using different colors of yellow. Now, this car seat throw with a lovey is a Mary Maxim kit. Josephine used Karen Cotton funnel cake, which is a 4-weight in the color Buttercup, and a 5mm clover hook for the blanket and a 4mm clover hook for the lovey. Josephine embroidered the eyes and nose using 3-weight yarn from her stash, and this will go into Josephine's donation box. Now, these pumpkins are the Wheat Stitch Pumpkin by Brianna Kay, the medium-sized ones. Josephine used Red Heart Super Saver yarn in cornmeal and gold with a 4mm Clover Amour hook. These were gifted to Josephine's daughter to add to decorations for Thanksgiving. How wonderful is that? And to all of you that celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you had a wonderful time with family and friends. Now, Josephine, your ball is blue G53. And thank you so much for sharing with us. Now next we have our friend Laura P. Excuse me. Here is Laura's 10 round granny square in a beautiful yellow color. Laura is joining her squares with black. Look at how gorgeous all the colors representing the birthstones look together. One more to go. I absolutely love that. Now Laura, your ball is Red Eye 22. And thank you so much for sharing with us. Now next we have our friend Pearl. Pearl has crocheted an alpine stitch beanie and a moss stitch scarf using a beautiful golden yellow color and a 5.5mm hook. This matching set plus all the others from our CAL will be going to Pearl's local charity. Again, that is so precious. Now Pearl, your ball is White B5. And thank you so much for sharing with us. Now next we have our friend Helen R, and she's our February winner. So Helen will not be getting a ball this round, but thank you for continuing to support our CAL and for joining us. So here is Helen's lemon colored dishcloth. Helen crocheted it using double crochets with 1 row single crochet and 1 row double crochet for the border. Another very pretty dishcloth to Helen's collection. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Helen. And next we have our friend Julianne, and she's our June winner. Therefore, she will not be getting a ball. Now here is Winnie the Pooh. Julianne used Bernat blanket yarn with a 7mm hook and Wonder Crochet's free pattern. He will make someone very, very happy. And thank you so much, Julianne, for your continued love and support and for, sharing your make with us. Now next we have our friend Thea. This puffer fish will make you smile. Thea used a pattern from her digital book Curious Crochet Creatures by Irene Strange. I think he is super adorable, and that face just makes me happy. He is just a little ball of fun. A lot of detail on him, but still a little ball of fun. Thea, your ball is Green 062, and thank you so much for sharing with us. Now next we have our friend Valerie R. Let me introduce you to Tilly, the very chubby turtle. Valerie used Yarn Smith's chenille yarn and a free YouTube tutorial. Tilly is a gift for Valerie's granddaughter, whom I'm sure will absolutely love her. Now she is very, very chubby because Valerie thinks she just overstuffed her. I always feel that I overstuff my stuffies too, but it just makes them even squishier and more lovable. Now Valerie, your ball is Red Eye 20. And thank you so much for sharing with us. Now next we have our friend Star Shelton. Amy has photobombed Star's photo, which we do not mind at all. Right, guys? Star has crocheted a beautiful baby blanket and matching beanies, which will be donated, I'm pretty sure. So thank you so much, Star. Your ball is White B1. And thank you so much for sharing with us, especially Amy. Adore her. Now next we have our friend Marta H. Now my mum would love this little football because she's a huge footy fan. Marta participated in Sarah Sash's Mystery CAL, which turned out to be a football, and Marta used a gorgeous golden coloured yarn. Absolutely love it. Now Marta, your ball is Blue G52, and thank you so much for sharing with us. Now we have our friend Amy B now. Here is Amy's beanie. The colours Amy used are very pretty and represent both the topaz and citrine birthstones for November perfectly. Now, Amy, your ball is Red Eye 24. And thank you so much for sharing with us. And next we have our friend Carolyn W. This tiny little bird is so super cute. He is a market make for Caroline's mini mystery bags, and I'm sure someone will absolutely love him, and he's joining his friends in the aviary. Now, Caroline, your ball is White B7, and thank you so much for sharing him with us. Now, next we have our friend Margaret V, and she shares 2 makes. This headband is a pattern by Simply Hooked by Janet. Margaret used loops and threads number 5 weight Charisma yarn in yellow and a K hook, and I just think it is so, so very pretty. Now, I am a huge SpongeBob fan, so this SpongeBob hat is a pattern by Repeat Crafter Me. Margaret used all number 4 weight yarns, mainstay in yellow, and I love this yarn in brown, and some of her scrap yarn for the details, and a H hook. And I absolutely love it. I really do need to add that to my crochet to-do list. Now, Margaret, your ball is green 061. And thank you so much for sharing. Now, next we have our friend Susan G. Look at this very pretty doily. Susan used one of her grandmother's doilies as inspiration and made up the pattern as she went. I love that. Now, Susan used Coates Lotus number 8 cotton thread in yellow and a vintage steel boy number 1 crochet hook, which is equivalent to a 2.75 millimeter. Now, this hook is very special to Susan as it was her grandmother's, and she really wanted to use it for this project. I just think that is so precious. Now, Susan, your ball is yellow N38. And thank you so much for sharing your make and your story with us. Now, next we have our friend Jana K from Leave It to Stitches. Now, Jana K was our July winner, therefore she will not be getting a ball. Now, here is Jana K's beanie. Jana K used DK yarn holding 2 strands together. The pattern is the Easy Shell Stitch Hat by Woolly Wonders Crochet, a YouTube tutorial. And this beanie has been donated to KK Crochet for their very successful Bumblebee Mountain Outreach hat drive. That is awesome. So thank you so much, Jana K, for sharing with us. And last but certainly not least, we have our friend Marie E. This beautiful blanket will be donated to Camp Boggy Creek. I'm 99.99% sure. Marie used various colors that represent the variations of the citrine birthstone. And I absolutely love the wave or chevron stitch, whatever it's called, that pattern. And I just think it's another beautiful blanket that, you know, Marie has made for that wonderful donation drive. So Marie, your ball is red I-23, and thank you so much for sharing with us. Now, before we spin this barrel, let's talk about December's stitch, December's birthstone. So December, once again, you can go traditional, you can go modern, and I guess everything in between. So whatever you know as the birthstone for December, go for it. But I'm going with the traditional, which is turquoise, and it's blues. Now, the great thing is that there are a few other blue stones that I know of, which include tanzanite, zircon, blue topaz, and I'm sure there's some others, but my feeling is that if we're in the blue family, we should do very well. And if you're going to surprise me with another birthstone, that is amazing. Now, it tells us here that the turquoise birthstone symbolizes health and good fortune. I think they're both great things, especially the health, because let's be real, without health we have nothing else basically. So that's it, guys. As far as December makes go, please get them to me before the end of December, 31st of December, Sydney, Australia time, midnight, and then I'll showcase them very early in the new year. And the birthstone that we're all looking to add to our collection, including 3 more stitch markers, will be this one here. Absolutely gorgeous little blue butterfly. So let's put these away for now, and let's spin this crazy little barrel, because you know that it has a mind of its own, guys. I'm so excited when I do this, actually. So let's make sure we've closed all the gates, because I don't want anything to fly out. Okay, are we ready? Now, if this is your first time here, it gets a little bit noisy now, so you might want to put your fingers on your ears or just turn down the volume. Otherwise, enjoy this, because I think this is part of the fun. Okay, let's hold on to it and let's start spinning. Okay, I love watching the balls bounce around. Okay, guys, let's open the little trap door. Are we ready? Okay, it's a white ball. Let's get it out. And let's get my glasses on, because you know the numbers are tiny. So if you've got a white ball and it's B3, this is you. Now, I need to go through all of my sticky notes here, because I didn't think to put them in order. So let's do this. Oh my gosh, it's the very first one. Wow. So here we are, B3. So Bella from Bella's Crochet Gifts, you're our winner for November. That is awesome. So please contact me as soon as you can via email. I'll tell you what you need to do, a little tweak, and then your stitch markers will be off to you from our friend Rose. How exciting is that, guys? Stitch marker set number 11 done. So get cracking, guys, on your next project. I have 2 squares to make, so I know exactly what I need to do. I know that some of you like to come up with something different every month and surprise us. I absolutely love that. I can't wait to see that snake finish finally. Missa, I cannot wait. And I wonder what other little bird will be joining the aviary. And all of your other makes, all of those blankets will be complete. Hopefully you'll have them ready with a photo for us. If not, don't stress, you can send it to us at any time. And I look forward to seeing all of your makes for December. So until I see you all very, very soon, take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.